this computer. So let's see. Maybe I find a profile. Profile. Yeah, maybe I'll just do it here. So, okay, let's say that you have your sketch already. Maybe I'll just do this one. So what I'm doing right here right now, I do have a profile view, but I'm too lazy to take a picture of it and put it into SolidWorks. So I'm actually just putting this on my screen, and the reflection is big enough so that I can see what I'm doing. So I'm just gonna trace the shape that I have. Very rough. So I know what I'm doing. So I could, for example, start adjusting this. Okay. I will probably also need something here in between. So that's gonna be basically the profile for my mask, right? Very rough, couple of lines. I don't really care, right? Like what I want to show you is that you could model fast using surface modeling. So I'm going to exit this sketch. Then now that I have those surfaces there, actually, should I? Yeah, I might need to take this. I want to see if I also could, for example, use the move and copy so I could move this. Yep. So what I'm trying to do here, just to move this so it aligns with my planes a little bit better, at least with the sketch that I created. Click OK. Yeah. I have no idea what this is, so I'm gonna delete it. Super easy. Now I have a lot more control out of this. I'm gonna create a plane here. Because if I create all my surfaces to go all the way there, like it's gonna be too much. So I'm gonna go probably there. That will be okay. And then I might need the top plane as well. Not yet. So right now my job is gonna consist of creating a contour that defines the shape of the edges of the mask, and created a line that defines the fin or the sharpest point of the mask, which I can already have that, right? So the one that I'm missing will be this one. So let's see. Maybe I can use it. That work? Oh, that might work. Heads up, my SolidWorks might crash. So what I just did is I clicked on intersection curves, and then I selected the head, and is apparently gonna give me a line that will go around the face or the areas of the face that are being intersected by the plane. Yeah, that's gonna, let's see, wait for the command to finish. So, but yeah, don't do this. It's gonna take forever. Let me see. On the meantime, let's start sketching the profile of your mask in SolidWorks, and just do it very rough. In this case, you can even use the spline. You don't need to use the stylus spline. Just use the stylus spline and sketch all the contours of the mask that you have into one of the planes. Okay.
I have a question on the GraviCAD. I'm trying to get a head and it says download files, but then it asks me to like log in. How did you get just like the version that the STL file that you used?
You have to log in. I have an account. It's free.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll probably do that later, I guess.
Yeah.
The light is shining right in my eye.
I'm sorry.
I'd prefer if you didn't do that right now while I'm in class.
It's not turning on, so it's not.
Okay, so that's it. I'm done. I finished my masks. So easy, right? So this is just the beginning, right? Like I just created a basic loft. Um, and it's basically the beginning of my mask. I could tweak, for example, a little bit these sketches more to cover this area if I want to,
That's
right?
why he's like does everything really fast and it's like
Is your phone?
Your mic's on, Sean.
I
I
can't.
heard you. How dare you? No. So we're gonna go over this again,
It's
right?
too
This is
fast for
the
me.
right? I made a bunch of planes, but I haven't used any of them. My thing when I model is that I like to make sure that I have enough things. Or I just model my 3D models, and I'm very cautious of what I use, right? So I made a bunch of planes just in case, right? Because I don't want to be creating more in the future. The only thing that I did here was that I created this sketch, right? Simple splines, and I mirror them, uh, which give me the advantage that if I, for example, want to move this one a little bit, is it this one? Yes. What is this one fix? Symmetric. Let's see. No sure why this one didn't update it. I could just do just one. Mirror. Here. I'll go back and then that should, if it doesn't work, then I can just reselect what I need. So in this case, I missed that line. Selection manager. Select that one. Okay. Again, like this mask, for example, it could be tighter here. So how would I go about that? How would I go about like creating like a tighter surface there?
Could you use a style spline on that top?
I could, yeah. That's why I have a bunch of planes, right? Maybe this is not only one lofted surface that I need to create, but a couple of them, right? Just to start
Yeah.
like increasing the tension in the nose. So let's see. Maybe I'm gonna hide this.
Professor, I think you're muted. I can't hear anything.
Yeah, I muted myself. I'm not saying anything. I'm just doing this. Yeah. What I have done here is that I use the saddle spline, just to mimic as close as possible that contour. Right? It's not gonna be perfect. Again, this is, for example, okay, this is fabrics. The way that you design fabrics is that you have like pieces of like areas of material, right, with specific cuts. So in this case, I'm not going for something super, super, super tight to the face. Um, that could be it. And in this case, I can make these 2 points horizontal. And then this one, we could make it vertical in relation to the origin point. So I'm basically constraining the points. I'm constraining my little graph, right? In this case, that looks kind of weird. Let's see. All right, so I finished this one. I could, for example, if I want to copy this line right here, I could create a center line. No patch, no patch. I'm gonna use my mirror here. Click this line. Ooh, it doesn't look how it's supposed to look, but it's still there. So I could do sketch tools, move, like this point, move here. Oh, that's actually doing that too, huh? I shouldn't do that. Oh, I see what's doing. Okay, good enough. So I have that part. Then I could go back to here. So the only thing that sucks about this STL graphic is very good in the sense that I get the overall proportions or scale of the head, but then it doesn't let me do section views. This part contains a graphic mesh feature which will only be shown and section in a graphics only section. I don't understand any of that. So, well, oh, there you go. Yeah, so if you do download this STL model, again, I got it from grabacat.com, and you need to make an account, but it's free. So if you have any type of graphic image, so in this case, this is an STL. STLs are basically the file format that you use to print models or some complex geometry usually comes as an STL, right? You could open them in SolidWorks, but they're not solids. There are no surfaces, right? But you know they're useful in order for us to trace things over, right? So in this case, I'm using this. I just want to see if I could also click on my plane 5. This is the one that I'm going to be using for that. Maybe there. That's good. So now I want to click here, sketch. I mute myself, you know, here. So I built that spline right there. I'm just now using this center line as reference for like almost everything. I know the positioning of the head is not perfect, so that's why I'm using that head as a reference. Again, this is just a simple 3D modeling exercise, right? I don't want you to lose your mind creating this. So I need to mirror this line. Let's see, entities, construction. This, take this line, then mirror that. And then lastly, make another one here. Sketch. Notice how I am leaving all my lines slightly at the same distance, or like they begin at the same, near the same location. Those are basically going to become the edges of my surface. So I'm using this control points, make them vertical, right? So like once I mirror this, there's no sharp points. And then I could do mirror. I will need to convert entities again of this line. Okay. For construction, convert entities. Sorry, mirror. So I have this now. Go back to just visualize everything. And I also have these old sketches from my original surface, right? So in this case, let's see, do my boundary, my lofted surface. Let's see how this looks. So a couple of things here. So might need to increase this little loop a little bit more. I would also create another plane here just because I want to have like a nice cut here. So yeah, I think I'm gonna modify this one a little bit before I continue. Also, these points could be closer to the face. So now, okay, so I slightly fix that. 77. That looks nice. It looks weird. The this graphic body. So it could be due to the selections that I'm using that it looks that way. See if there. Lock the surface. Selecting everything from the middle. Right click, show connectors. Well, I could go, for example, here. If I had a profile, this, so we'll do a trim, surface trim. So that I trim the other side as well. See, body. Add a color to it so I can see it better. Kind of still look how this one looks a little bit more. It's just that, the contour here. So for example, in this case, this could be like, my second prototype. So for example, with this one, edit sketches. Nice, sketch them. So I'm inserting a point here so I can move this one as well. And again, remember that we're doing surfaces, right? So if it, for example, the surface that I create overlaps the face by a little bit, I'm gonna thicken that surface at the end so I can thicken that on the exterior. Just leave it there. Ooh, that looks tight. See, a little bit of this here. Yeah, that one looks actually better, right? Than the other one. So in this example, so we have two types of surfaces, right? So I'm gonna add a color to this one. So we have these two separate surfaces. Which surface to you looks better in order to in the or regarding surface quality? Like if, for example, I'm gonna hide this face. Let's analyze this one. Go to evaluate, go to zebra stripes. I still could see this. This little line right here is a result of me when I was running that mirror curve. So whenever you do surface modeling, you want to make sure that you're using either stylus splines as a whole. If you join lines, make sure they're tangent. Um, always try to use the most continuous types of lines, right? Like arcs. So in this case, for example, this one I could easily fix, but it's still, I have a better surface here, right? And this one was I made it simpler, right? I only took three lines to create this type of surface. I took this curve right here, this curve, and then this one. I could also, for example, go back and take, let's say, this one here. Don't want to add more of a, oh, looks, gets better, right? I could also, for example, do another surface trim. In this case, I'm gonna go here, my right plane, sketch. I'm just making sure that I'm inside the surface, right? Because I'm gonna trim this, right? I don't want this line to go outside what I have model. Let's see, surface trim. And the bottom looks weird. So actually a bottom, I'm just gonna cut it there. Yeah, that's better. This I could fix in a bit with like maybe a fillet or something. Well, that is just the surface of the object touching the mask. But yeah, like this looks better if it's slightly. See if I put it here. I don't really like what I just did. Because I was using a style spline, a regular spline right there. I don't like the way it looks. So I introduced a new sketch, right? And instead of deleting this, because if I delete it, the feature will break. I could do right click and click here, replace entity. So this is one of those advanced features that you should know, because these type of features would allow you to, for example, let's say that you created a loft, and one of the profiles in the lofted feature for some reason breaks, right? Like it did in mine. Like I'm not getting the shape that I want anymore, and it's very, very hard for me to move the control points of that line. So what I just did is I just sketch a new line, right? New one. And then what I'm gonna do is replace this entity, this one, with this one. And depending, I don't know if you have these two options, but I usually just say make construction line. So my line remains there. This one I could delete it. Let's see, this one, the symmetric one. Then I'm gonna mirror this one, mirror this entity along this one, and do the same right click, replace entity. This one with this one. Okay. That should automatically adjust my loft feature. So I got that, and then the next thing, ooh, that's very sharp right there. That might be a result of one. All right. Cool. So now I got that. Then just a string right here. I could, for example, do offset surface again, offsetting that to the outside. Let's say that I want to add something here in the center. Actually, so in this case, I created this ellipse right here, right? So I think Jonathan did the sketch. No, that was Sean, the sketches that Sean showed us, there was he was trying to make a respirator. So there were like two, kind of like two parts in the same area where the nose goes, right? So this is what I'm going to try to recreate here. So in this case, what I will do here will be a, see if it's a surface stream, but I want to keep the selections. Hide the hair. Then let's say I could do again, offset this one a little bit more. Meters. Trimp with that same sketch. So I'm basically just playing with the trims, right? That's what I'm doing. So keep selection. Offset this a lot more. Ooh, that's kind of cool. Okay, so it's not letting me do that. Offset of the whole surface. I'm gonna look for the sketch with the trim surface selections. Now I have those contours right there. Then I could do another surface boundary here. I mean, loft. I could also take this surface. Let's see if this, for example, I guess I could take this one. In this case, what I'm trying to do is I'm gonna convert entities with this ellipse, so I could reuse this and just do a offset of 1 millimeter, right? I'm going for the effect of trying to create a gap between that. This one could be for construction, and then I will run another surface trim. See if this works here. So this feature we haven't seen before. This feature, I could technically, if I wanted to, I could take this edge and just loft it with another cut that I will create here underneath. Let's do it instead. This one, then that one. Yep. I could go and say loft this edge with this edge. Since I'm lofting between two surfaces, then I should be able to modify my constraints here, say tangent. So I did that's a small, it's tangent to that edge. And it looks nice. Increase it. I don't really care much about this, surface right here. Nobody's gonna see it, but if I do care, I could also, say tangent. Click OK. Oh, but like, what about this edge right here? Well, in that case, I could, let's say, take this fillet. See, let's compare this with the head. Yeah, look, this it's looking like Darth Vader. Any questions so far? So everything that I've built so far is the result of lofted surfaces and trim surfaces. Questions? Okay, so I want to continue. So now here is the surface that was going on top of this. I think this could also be interesting if I mask, like increase these cuts here. That would be cool. So now I'm gonna go back to my top, sketch a gigantic center line from the origin point. sketch there because I want to still be able to resolve this. So what I would do here is that if my intent is to model this as like this is one part, this is the second part. I'm gonna hide the head. What we do here is to offset 1 millimeter. Are they touching? Yeah, they're touching. Okay. So then the offset will be only 0.5. It's exactly at the middle. That's perfect. I could go ahead and hide this because I don't need it for now. Say hi. Also this I don't need. There you go. So now I have that part. I could also close it with my lofted surface. So you see, like you can pretty much build anything you want using lofting surfaces. Next week we're gonna talk about the boundary surface, which is way more powerful than the lofting. But yeah, only with lofted lofted surfaces you should be able to build a lot of geometry as long as you're doing clean surface trims, right? That's the whole trick that I've been doing here, right? My trims are like very clean. It's just one line, one trim. I'm encompassing the whole area of the surface. That's why I'm able to close them so fast, so quick. Could also close this here. There is another feature called thicken, which basically thickens a surface. I do like using that feature sometimes to create 3D geometry, like a solid body. But sometimes it doesn't give me a type of edges or the type of like edges that I would like. That's why I keep doing lofting between edges to build the surfaces. Um, I think the last thing that I want to do here is see if I could make this a little bit more dynamic with a last cut. This is a sketch that I created here. And then do a mirror. Let's just see how it looks. But you see why the importance of doing orthographic drawings, right? If I had to sketch this, like I honestly just built this out of my mind, right? But I'm trying to keep it as close as close as possible to whatever profiles I'm envisioning, right? Like I'm doing everything on my front profile, I'm doing everything on my right profile. Then I also need to select this. Okay. And I could see that that is open right there. So we'll close it. I could knit all these surfaces together. And in this case, I'm just gonna leave it at merge entities. So it's just one single surface, it's not a solid body. But then I could take, for example, this one, say 5 millimeters, see how it looks. No, and I might have to actually do this. So a solid, say surface solid. Could have also caught that too as well. So leave it there. Let's get this surface right here. So that was the one that goes in the inside. Could also like take all of these ones and knit them. Didn't merge his surfaces. So yeah, that's basically how I didn't do anything very out of the ordinary of what we know. Lofted surfaces, trims. Um, I could put more time probably in trying to understand the shape better, like on these sides. I think I didn't do a good job there. But yeah, that's basically a demo for how you could approach that mask. I'm not looking for a lot of complexity, right? Like for example, if you look at these renders, like this is very simple to do. Like that's just basically they cut the contour, they model everything as a one piece, then they cut this.
You're only showing your SolidWorks screen right now.
Right.
I can't see what you're.
So what I'm
Oh, there we
saying,
go.
what I was saying, you can see now.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, for example, this mask right here, this is only one shape, nothing crazy. Then they cut it in the middle to have this, and then they maybe did a surface offset. And this is all keyshot. This is just materials. So how about this? Let's just 3D model this for assignment 7, and then next week we can play with keyshot. We do a demo in keyshot separated to create something similar to this with textures. Sounds good?
Sounds good.
All right. Okay, so the last thing, let me show you this really quick. Let's say like you want to make something similar to this on your mask. Any idea how to do it? Anyone? So in this case, for example, let's say that I want to make it here. What I would do, will be, again, I'm gonna refer back to my planes I have from plane. And in this case, I will sketch the shape I want here. And then what I could do there is take that, do a surface split. What I want to say, don't consume bodies. So I basically have this now. I use my surface split with that circular sketch. I could take this now because it's a separate body, right? Wait a second. Did I wanted to create it that like that one? Yeah, I think I could also just do this with a surface offset. Surface offset is very useful. I think that will be better. Let's say like there. But now because I have this as a split there, I could join it back up, but then I could do a loft again. On this edge. And this. Let's see. It won't let me do it. Maybe I don't do a split. Maybe I do another surface trim. In this case, let me see what is a solid line. That is a solid. Maybe we don't turn that as a solid. There you go. So I'm back at having everything as a surface. Yeah, so don't go into a solid body until you're completely done, because it will make harder for you to work on things. So yeah, I'm gonna take that shape, same approach. I'm gonna take that area right there. And I don't wanna remove the selection. Maybe I just do a linear split all. Split option. Yeah, I replace it that. Features, surfaces, extrude, trim, protect. Yeah, I don't want to have that disappearing. So maybe I will do a split again. I do want to keep it. Yeah, there you go. So now this is its own surface, right? So instead of using the trim surface, I use the split because the split would allow me to keep the surface there. And I could do an offset. Or I could even do my own shape, right? So let's say that I'm gonna do my own shape. So there's a couple of things that I could do here. I could do an offset first, or let's see if I can do a plane. No, it wouldn't work there. So yeah, I'm gonna do the offset. That will be okay. Then what I could do here is that that should do. So I'm gonna do reference plane. I need a plane. So I could easily just take this edge, take this one, and combine that, but I don't really like the way it looks. It's very simple. Like you can do that with a lofted surface. But what I'm trying to do right now is to have a plane in this area so I can sketch my own shape, just how I have it here, right? Like it's its own thing and it's a very nice extrusion. So I'm looking at my planes. See, let's go from the top view. Okay, so I know what I can do. I could sketch here in my top plane. I'm gonna make a line, slightly go in there. And then create a plane. Actually, I could use one of the planes that I created a long time ago. That one. So I deleted that split because this is gonna be a different approach. So I'm gonna take that line that I created in one of those planes that I did earlier, and I'm gonna create a plane using this line. And then as my reference, I will use the top, and then I can angle this, right? Slightly how I want it. That's it, that's good. Then take this, sketch. Now I can make the shape I want to. For example, do a So now I could take this and say, I could do an extrusion surface and say, now I have that shape there, right? And it is a solid object, but then, once I finish modeling the mask, I could turn everything into a solid and then join everything, right? Then I could add fillets. I could have also, for example, put a drafting angle. And that's pretty much it. I'm gonna pause the demo now.